Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back once again for another match of the Sevens. This one is Australia versus Samoa, the recently returning Samoa, which will be pretty awesome seeing them in action. But we will look through at the starting lineups and reserves for these two sides. Currently, England are playing Spain with only a minute left. England have got a 19-14 lead, so currently leading by just a little bit in this game. But yeah, I hope you guys are all doing well and hope you are excited to see Samoa in action once again for their starting lineup. It is going to be Va'a Apilu Maliko. Then also in there at number 3, it is going to be Ioana Sioni. Then Vawasa Afa is in that lineup alongside him. Paul Scanlon, Milani Matavao, the captain. Then Steve Ramoni and Owen Fetu. That is the starting lineup for the Samoans in this game. Then for Australia, Nick Maloof, Henry Hutchison, Ben Maher, Josh Turner, Dietrich Roach. I always say his first name wrong, so I do apologize for that. But of course, Roach, he is going to be there for Australia. Corey Toole, and then it is Matthew Gonzalez, who is going to be there at number 8. We have got Let's Go and I Am Asleep. Says Paddy. I see. Perfect sense, mate. Yeah, so I guess you're sleep typing, aren't you, possibly? So you've done pretty well, unless that's autocorrect on your phone, maybe that has helped you out for that one. But looking through at the substitutes for this game, it is going to be Falaniko. Then also it is Sautui Huta, Opitai, this is a hard one, Faliai, maybe, and also Purcell is there for Samoa. Then Longbottom, Dunbar, Patterson, Isley, and then Clements is there for Australia. But nonetheless, that game between England and Spain has just finished, and England are able to get themselves a win, 19-14. We have seen quite a few close games throughout these 7 so far. The only real one-sided fixture was actually the game that took place between France and Japan, and even that was a little bit close. And well, not actually asleep, but I feel like I am in there as well, says Paddy Wagon. And yeah, there's a big day of rugby ahead. I wonder how long some people are going to last in the rugby gauntlet that we have got coming up, because I mean, Super Rugby games, they go through to 12. Then after that, we have got URC, which is going to be taking place right through to about 4. And then after that, if I'm still awake myself, we will be doing probably the Champions Cup game between the Exeter Chiefs and Munster to close out the evening. And then tomorrow, we have got all of the matches of the Sevens that we can, which includes the quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals, 5th and 8th playoff positions. All those games will be covered here on the channel. So if you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. But Samoa and Australia, they are just a little inch away from getting underway for this game. For me, I feel like Milani Matavao has so much experience compared to some of these new guys. I mean, Samoa have about 9 debuts in their side here. So he's going to be such an important kind of senior figure in this side. And alongside that, Henry Hutchison for me and Corey Toole are probably the two to watch out for in the Australian lineup. Corey Toole recently, for all of the competitions in Spain, he's been looking very quick. Someone that they are missing for Australia here is actually Yul, though. He was someone who was coming off the bench for the last one, so they've decided to go without him in this lineup, and instead they've got Michael Isley, Clements, and also Gonzalez as new names that they didn't have for the last tour. And also Ben Maher, I should mention, is another name that has been added in. But currently, England, they sit top of Pool B. Australia and Samoa, whoever win this game, they will be sitting in second. And then maybe points differential-wise, the next side will be able to sit there in, I would say, third. But that's going also, let's go Samoa, as says Richard, for this game. And at the moment, Samoa, in the rankings, they are ranked 18th. New Zealand, they were ranked 19th. Though the last 4 times that these two sides have played off, it were all wins. Well, they were actually all wins for Australia, although Samoa getting the win before that. I'm going to try and I'm going to try and stay up for the Canes Crusaders. Let's go Samoa in there as well, says Richard. So he's going for the Samoans in this game. And currently, I mean, it's going to be a big game. John Manenti will want to make sure that his Australian side get the win here because they are heavily favourites going into this game. But one thing that you cannot really teach is just that heart and the pride that Samoa will play for in this game. All the players making their way out onto the field. A special moment for them to come on Australia. Says Ed for this one as well. We will put that in the middle of the screen. We will move our lineups to the side a little bit. One moment. It's going to misbehave. Yeah, about there will do. And we'll put the game right there. But Nick Maloof, currently another player to watch out for the Australians. He has got plenty of potential. But yeah, for me, Matavao and also Owen Fetu out on the wing. He has got plenty of pace. And also hurry up there, as I says Finagalo. And also I should mention, anyone who does want to see this game actually live, it is going to be on the World Rugby competition. I do see that they've got Charlotte Caslick on the commentary, which I know is something that a lot of you guys will be very happy about for that one. And also we have got their best game they had was in 2010. Says Richard, and last time that they did win up against Australia, 2019. But World Rugby's Sevens is where you can watch this whole kind of competition live and also on demand afterwards as well. But due to copyright, we are unable to show match footage and audio on this one. And we have got I will have to watch most of the Canes Crusaders game on my phone, as we'll be in town for the Chiefs versus Blues game. So it's going to be kicked off. So away in Samoa, I've got this ball on the halfway line now. They actually retain their own kickoff, which is very impressive. Now passing it back across it is going to be Paul Scallon. Looking to the short side, just trying to find a bit of a gap. Now nicely kicked him behind. It was actually, I believe, Matawao chasing after that one and also have fun at the game. It's going to be a good one. Chiefs versus Blues. Penalty in favour of Samoa, actually getting straight over the ball there. And it was their captain, Matawao, who helps out with that one. Now a nice step from Samoa. Sitting 10 metres out from the line now, running it straight sideways. Wide ball. This is going to be a try for the Samoans. They go in the corner, and it's going to be Sione who does get the try, the opening try of the match. And Samoa have scored the first try of this match. It was Sione. I don't think I pronounced his first name correctly, but it is Sione who was able to score that try for Samoa. Or has he? They're going to be going upstairs. Maybe he was slightly in touch. He did wait relatively late before putting the ball down. So I think that is what they are curious about. Oh, it's close. But I think he stayed in the field of play. For me, he has got that ball down. And also we've got their things that we're almost on the halfway line, right down at the front. And there says Northman for that one. And are you going to be wearing your pink bats kit? Once again, do let me know. Because we didn't end up spotting you last time, but we tried our best. See ya and try Samoa. Says Katie Dixon, right, you can award the try as the call, and that is going to be the first try of the match for Samoa. It's going to be almost a near impossible drop kick from the touchline to try and get this one over, but brilliant work from Samoa. Was Sione was able to score that one. Right from the touchline here, it's going to be Milani Matawao. Doesn't quite get the distance nor accuracy on that kick, but Samoa still have the 5-0 lead. And yes, pink bats shirt. And then also, I wish you had a sign so he knew it was you. And there says Kato Dixon, but return to that HSBC Sevens for the first time since Vancouver 2020. It's been a long time since we've seen the Samoans, and they seem like they're picking up from where they left off. Some very good form starting to kind of build up for them. This fixture, but on the halfway line now, it is going to be kicked off by Samoa. Once again, they do want to try and retain this one. It's going to be bouncing up nicely, though, for, I believe that is Josh Turner is taking that one, waiting for the ball at the back here on their 22 here. Australia are going to be trying to work their way across the field with Roach, having to run it backwards. Good pressure from Samoa building here, although now the back line of Australia does have numbers. They've got a 2-on-1 out by the wing. Does flick it back on the inside, giving it off to Corey Toole. Sells the dummy, does the step. Still going, Corey Toole. Pinsey is back. Brilliant work from Samoa, but it's going to be the flick off. And that is going to be the try there for Gonzalez at number 8. And Australia get themselves the counter try, and that will be a 7-pointer for them as well, straight underneath the posts. And also, boy runs, says Katie Dixon in that one. But it was brilliantly done initially from Samoa to be able to make him have to run wide. And then from there, just a flick on the inside. Good amount of vision there from Corey Toole. And then found the ball on the inside to Gonzalez. And also try. Australia, says Katie Dixon there. It was good cover defence in the end by Paul Scanlon. But it's just unable to have two of them in the same spot at the same time. And it did result in the try being scored by the Australians. And they now take the lead 7 points to 5. Samoa, they need to make sure that that doesn't drop their spirits. Because at the end of the day, you've still got another 11 minutes left. You can certainly have an impact. And all you need is to keep it close right up until the final minute. And then you are able to get yourself possibly the biggest upset victory. Although you'd have to say Fiji losing to Ireland was pretty close. And also they hopped to the try line. As says Paddy Wagon. Apparently now going to be kicked off here. Taken nicely by, it was the number 10 there, Scanlon. Samoa currently sitting on their own 22. Going to be the captain, Matawao. He's been very prominent in the back line every single time that they try and use him. Sione, the try scorer, does receive that ball. Going back across. It's great defence from Australia. Chipped him behind from Sione. Or in fact, Sione. Now Nick Maloof has been able to cover it though. And he's got, man, all over him. I believe that was actually Maliko who's really putting on the pressure. Can Fiji win from France? Says Aksha, I do hope so, but France is going to be a very tricky game for them. as we have seen already that Fiji, there's just that little bit of rust at this current point in time. It will go away very quickly for them, but it's whether or not it is gone by the time they play France or whether it is the next game after that. Currently now waiting for this ball. Going to be stolen there nicely by, I believe it was Henry Hutchison. They win themselves the penalty there, Australia, for the player leaving his feet. Now going for the quick tap, trying to keep this game going. Josh Turner, good step. Round two of the Samoan players, including Sione. Ball on the inside now. And it's going to be a foot race. Great pressure from Samoa. And they've been able to get that turnover now, running it straight sideways. Sione, a step nicely, but he was able to really use that pace. And also probably, says Richard, they are now backline for Samoa inside of their 22. It seems to be a back and forth contest. Not a lot of penalties slowing us down. The great Malenko. Wasn't that ICP album? And there says Katie Dixon, an ICP album. See, I feel like that's a little bit before my time, isn't it? What is ICP? International Cricket Patrol. I keep on thinking, but it's certainly not that. It was nicely done. I believe that Scannell and actually Sione would be another player who I have to give a shout out to for the early stages of this match. Hello again. There's Betty there as well, but it's currently nicely done. It was a good run forward from, it was actually, right, it's the number 13 for Australia who's not on the team sheet. So he's hiding. Oh no, wait, we got him, Ben Ma. There he is. I was like, where is he? There's a penalty there to Australia now, and now we have got there. Yeah, it was before your time. Insane Clown Posse in there as well. It's an interesting choice of name, I guess. Nick Maloof now going back across here. It's going to be that man at number 13, Ben Ma. Still available here for the Australians. 22 metres out from the Samoan line, drawing pass out to Roach. Down the wing, cuts nicely. Henry Hutchison with the step. He is dragged down. 30 seconds left in this first half. And Samoa do need to defend like their lives and their Sevens tournament depend on it. Maloof, wide, flinging pass out to Corey Tua, who's got one of the most lethal steps in the game of Sevens. Straight on the ball for Samoa. They get the penalty. I was just, I want a good game there. And there, as I says, Richard. Now taking the quick tap there for Samoa, kicking in behind. This is looking very good. It's going to be a foot race here. And Roach will be waiting for it. It sits up beautifully. Now the Samoan, he's able to run it straight sideways. Brilliant tackle there from Roach. He gets back up and goes again. And Samoa score it. And it's in the form of Steve Ramoni, who has been able to get that one down. And that is brilliantly done. Or in fact, it is Steve Nosai, who has been able to get that one done. That was a brilliant try. It was just a brilliant counter ruck and a counter run from Samoa. Try Samoa, says Katie Dixon. And yeah, at this stage, you'd have to argue that if Samoa win this, that is absolutely huge. We also got that Robo has said, or Robo, sorry, I think it is, has said, where is the streaming? It is on the World Rugby YouTube channel. If you do know whereabouts, that one is, or the World Rugby Sevens website. But if it's not available in your country, you can still watch the replay of it straight after the day of Sevens ends. So pretty much that's the best way to be able to watch it, unless, of course, you're in New Zealand and you've got a Sky subscription. Then it is currently on Sky Sport 2 for this one. But yeah, for this game and all of the other matches, you can actually watch them on the World Rugby YouTube channel if you are in a certain country. If not, the replay will be the way to go. And also, there goes Samoa goes, says Tony Tui there. It's a big kick downfield from Samoa. Final play. It's actually gone out on the full there from Mataval. A little bit of a mistake. And now the Australians will have a restart on the halfway line. We have got G'day, as I says, Xavier, welcome into the live stream. I hope you're doing well. Australia will win. And as I says, Patty, currently now it looks like they are going to be kicking this one for the touchline, or actually they might just be tapping this one, Australia. Or if you're in the US, it's on Peacock. As on there says Katie Dixon. Right, they've taken the quick tap now. Henry Hutchison passes it across to the far side of the field. Nick Maloof. He's quite a tall individual, uses every inch of his size that he has got. Try and make the most of breaking through the defensive line. Roach in the midfield. Off to Hutchison, the captain. Ball off. It's a knock on there. It's actually going to be a penalty. Ooh. Okay, he's picked it up in an offside position. So now Samoa have got another attacking opportunity. And now that one's gone down. It's another penalty. And that was not back 10. The moment they are just getting penalised after penalty here for Australia. Now taking the quick tap for Samoa. And what Super Rugby games are you streaming? All three of them. We are going to be doing the first match, Hurricanes versus Crusaders. Second game, Chiefs versus Blues. And then Brumbies versus the Fijian Roa. And then we are switching back to the URC. That's another penalty. Tell you what, Australia are going to have to be careful here, or else they might end up with themselves going to the bin in a very short moment. Going for it. It's a penalty that time to Australia, though. And now, I guess that's the question. They will go for the counter-attack. Now, Australia, they've got a bit of space. Henry Hutchinson does run it nicely towards the halfway line now, Australia. Wide cut out pass out to Corey Toole. Like I mentioned, his step is lethal and he's gone straight through, but he's been tackled very well by Matavao. They're waiting for it. And this one passing it across is going to be in the midfield here. Hutchinson. Once again, this is they're just scrappy lads. And as I said, Katie Dixon, that's going to be a little forward pass. And there will now be halftime in this game. Roach a little bit disappointed with that one, but at halftime, Samoa have got themselves a 10-7 lead over the Australians. So great start to the match for the Samoans. First game back since 2020, like I mentioned a little bit earlier on, but we will be covering their games tomorrow as well for Samoa. So if you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Their later games today, I believe, will overlap with Super Rugby, but we will also keep you guys informed of who is winning those games for Samoa, etc. But I believe they have also got England and Spain in their group, which will be very interesting to see how it ends up going. And also Chehu, there says Richard, although I think he said it with a little bit more enthusiasm, and Australia is always scrappy. And there says Paddy Wagon. Currently now 2 tries for Samoa. Visits the opposition 22. We've actually seen 3 apiece. Passes completed, a lot more for the Australians. But the big thing there is that Samoa have been able to do very nicely throughout it. And also they have just enough time to chew on the ice chips that got dumped on the field. And there says Gary Dixon. And tell you what, you take anything you can in terms of being able to cool yourself down. There's ice packs on the back of a man's neck. That is nice teamwork at the moment. I believe that is actually Whaelagi. He is actually massaging the back of the neck of Afa Sua with an ice pack. So, I mean, that's the team spirit that you want in an environment. And also, we have got there one more, and it's timeout. This is Benny. I think you just got a little bit of a rivalry with Richard at the moment, but we can't really time people out for not completely no reason overall. But currently now tackles made, 11 for Samoa, 5 tackles made for Australia there. And also we've got there, okay, here's Brandon as well. Welcome in. Hope you are doing well, mate. Currently 10-7. The Samoans lead over Australia. They'll be trying to rebuild in the second half, really try and keep that intensity up, because if they can keep those big hits coming on the Samoans, that is going to be probably the thing that might win them this game. And 2 live streams done. And also, hi, says Ali. Welcome into the live stream. Hope you are doing well. Currently, South Africa versus Canada. That is 31.5 minutes away. And USA versus Kenya is the next game that is going to go in there. And you don't need to say Chahu over and over. And there as well says Betty Wagon. And also, we have got the big hits, boys. And there as well says Richard. But nonetheless, now from the halfway line, it is going to be Australia kicking this one off for the second half to get underway. Gertrude Roach will be getting this one underway. Samoa actually able to retain their first kickoff. And ARDA says, hope you're well. There's Katie Dixon there. Now Roach kicks it off just the 10 meters, and it's taken beautifully by Joe Turner. And he's going to be able to go over it. It's Josh Turner, not Joe, but he's got the try. And that is the way that Australia would have loved to start the second half. A try in 10 seconds of the half starting. And now Australia take the lead back in this game. Roach kicked it off. It was up in the air. Sione did not jump up for it. And from there, Josh Turner able to jump, gets that ball, scores the try, and now Australia have got themselves the lead. And also, that's quick. And also, I'm doing all right. How about you? Katie Dixon says, Elliot also earlier, try. Says Katie Dixon. Also, hi, Katie Dixon. I'm so busy with work on live stream, but it already forgo. And that one has missed the way to the sides for the Australians. And that now means that it is going to be 12 points to Australia, 10 to Samoa, with still 6 minutes left. But the restarts retained. Actually, both sides able to retain a kickoff. And that was the first one of the day for both actually sides, the first kickoff of the half. Visits to the opposition 22. Australia have had one more visit to the opposition 22, and that visit was that one just then when they were able to score up. But now Roach, he's trying to rinse and repeat it. It's almost worked out, and they've been able to get it back once again. So they found a little bit of a loophole in the way that Samoa played it. They aren't quite able to defend that one. That only goes to 10 meters. Roach now going back across field. Little bit of space here for big Nick Maloof. In fact, it's actually Henry Patterson who has been replaced. Now, it's going to be Maurice Long, bottom wide, cut out pass, waiting for that ball to bounce up. It's set up quite nicely for Henry Hutchinson. Trying to break through the line. It's once again going to be the big man at number 12 here, Henry Patterson. Trying to go straight through. Big hit on him, though. And I believe that was actually Paul Scanlon once again making the tackle. Quick tap taken by Maurice Longbottom. Now, Josh Turner, he's been very good throughout this game, although that's a knock on against him. So I should say possibly that I jinxed him a little bit. Sione dragged down 10 metres out from the line at the moment here for Samoa. Ball popping out the back of their scrum. It's a loose ball picked up there. And now all they need to do is go over the line. Australia tries to reach for a Nick Maloof, decides against their Corey tool around the side. And they do end up getting the try once again for Australia. And also we've got now doing well, but very busy. And also we've got that Go Australia goes. There's Reed, and that is another try there for the Australian Samoa. They're fighting hard throughout this game, though, which is great to see for their first Sevens tournament back since 2020. And hopefully they can get themselves into kind of the first. I'd like to see them in the top two, but I'm not too sure whether or not that is hoping too high for their very first competition back. But if they do get there above England and Spain, it would be incredibly impressive. I'm so glad you're taking a break now, brother. And as I says, Katie Dixon, but that one has gone straight over the posts. And it is now going to make the score 19 points to Australia and 10 to Samoa. But 4 minutes left now in this game in the second half. And also we have got the hyper twos now for Richard. I feel like now, Petty, there would be a reason to type thing. But yeah, but currently now Australia sitting there 19 points to 10. They've got themselves just a little bit of a lead at this point in time. 2 tries for Samoa in the first half. And also we have got their boy enough. And there as well says Katie Dixon for that one as well. We will go like this. And we will go like this. There we go. Maybe. Yep, there we go. Right, the restart. It has been productive there for the Samoans, trying to make their way just a little bit further forward as quickly as they can, because they need to try and make up 2 tries here, which is going to be a relatively tricky task to do. I see that two actually managed to get that time out. And there's and also we get it. You're excited, but keep that spam in your sandwich and not in this chat. Says Katie Dixon. But currently now it is going to be a penalty once again to Samoa. 3 minutes left, and they need to score twice if they do want to get themselves a lead here. Going to be in the midfield. And it is going to be, it was actually Saltui Huta. The ball was turned over for half a second by Australia. Now back in the hands of Samoa. Got to attack and run here. Down once again. And I had a feeling something was going to happen. And they're around the side, Samoa. And something has just happened for them. And it's going to be Onasai, who once again scores at Samoa back in this game. And now they've got another opportunity to be able to get themselves right back into this matchup against the Australians with peace and love. And now, as I see, Katie Dixon, but 2.5 minutes left. Samoa score again. And it was the man at number 12, Steve Onasai, who has been looking very good. His legs look like they were going to give out from underneath him there. And also, a span sandwich actually sounds freaking good right now. I'm hungry, says Katie. And also, no worries, Katie Dixon, doing well. But I very want up and go. But I want you lads to say yes or no. I mean, if you need an up and go, you need an up and go. I feel like that is probably something that only you really deep down know whether or not you do need one. That got really deep for just a question about whether or not someone should have a drink or not. But a drink of non-alcoholic beverages, I should say, an up and go is kind of like an energy breakfast smoothie thing here in New Zealand. Slap back didn't really work out too well. That's a little knock on the ground, I thought, but they have said that that's all right for the Australians. And also, you think Canada 29 points is a good bet, says Reggie. Who are they versing for that game? I think it's Canada versus South Africa, isn't it? It's a tricky one because you never quite know what Canada you're going to get. If you get a good Canada, they have the potential of only losing by like 14. But if you get a bad Canada, they have the potential of losing by like 40. So it kind of depends on that. And that can literally be the difference between like 3 points or 3 tries worth up against them. Now, currently, passing the ball back once again across 40 metres out for the line. Maurice Longbottom with a good step around a couple of the Samoan defenders. Now on the outside, it's going to be Big Patterson running it hard at the line. It's going for the penalty there to Australia, just waiting a little bit longer before Maloof does decide to take the quick tap. And in fact, they're going to be kicking this one by the corner. It looks a bit for Australia, unless they just take a little bit more of a breath. No, they're kicking for the corner, I think. Or are they? Seems like they're just stalling a little bit here for Australia, saying that one was a tad high for the Samoan. And now it's taken quickly by Maurice Longbottom. They've taken the quick tap. And now it's going to be available for them once again. Henry Hutchison goes back across. They've got two men on the outside. Turner not able to get the draw pass, but stepping himself on the inside. Only a metre short of the line now for Josh Turner. And Samoa, they've got to defend with so many men right next to the breakdown. Breaking through, it's Australia. And it is going to be now Tom Clements, who has been able to score the try, USA or Kenya. So that one's also a tricky one, depending on what we see from Kenya. I'd say USA maybe. But I'm terrible with predictions, so I definitely would not trust anything that I say. And I should have a Vegemite sandwich in honor of those rugby lads. And now if only New Mexico had a single jar of it, spam is here, but not Vegemite. And okay, I'm going to get one. Thank you, lads. Do you want to talk about the postcard on Discord before your next live stream? I think I've actually got, believe it or not, I've actually got a little meeting in between these two live streams, which is going to be involving a video that is getting edited. And I was, oh, Lord. As I says, Katie Jackson, but that is going to be the end of this game. Not quite. Yes, it is. No, that is going to be the end, and it is going to be the full-time score of 17 points to Samoa. I think that says 19, doesn't it? I think they've kind of... Oh, no, it's got 10. Okay, the scoreboard has not been updating itself. There we go. Has updated now, 26 points to 17. I got so confused for a second. I was like, why are Samoa only on 10? They played a lot better than the 10 points. And also the big thing is, like I mentioned, first game back, and they've already got those impressive offloads starting to flow for them and some good attack and run in rugby. I did enjoy seeing, I believe it was Steve Onasai, I think it was. His name's down as Steve Ramoni here on my sheet, but it is Steve Onasai. He was looking good. And also Paul Scallon and Milani Matavao, both having very prominent first halves, and Sione being able to score that early try in the match. But then for the Australians, it was Matthew Gonzalez, Josh Turner, Corey Toole, and then also Tim Clements was able to score the try alongside that. But nonetheless, I believe that is going to be the end of this live stream. Our next live stream will be taking place at 4:30 p.m. That is for Super Rugby Pacific in the game between the Hurricanes and the Crusaders. So be sure to check that out as well. But thank you all very much for tuning in throughout those Super Rugby fixtures. We will be keeping you guys updated with the Sevens and what is happening in those ones as well. Perry Baker is certainly there alongside Kevon Williams. And also on the bench, I believe they may have Carlin Isles, if I'm not wrong. But Ariambo, he's a very good player for the Kenyans. So we'll be watching this game very closely also. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. We have got Hybro from Roman. Welcome in, mate. And thank you so much. Big love also. We will be back in 15 minutes or so for Super Rugby Pacific. Thank you all very much for tuning in. If you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, be sure to check out that pinned comment. It does have the Kiwi Lads Sport link there as the second one. And how are you both for doing very well? Thank you, mate. But nonetheless, we will see you all for